Welcome to the UFC 269 pregame, where I, Earl, your host, discuss the fight card, bet on predictions, and pray the MMA guys don't break my skinny legs. Today we are reviewing UFC 269 Oliveira vs. Poirier, set to take place Saturday, December 11th, featuring the headliner lightweight champ Charles Oliveira versus Dustin I Broke Your Favorite Fighter's Leg, Poirier. In the co-main event, we got the GOAT! Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena for the women's bantamweight title. We will discuss these bouts in more detail later on in the video, but for now, let's start with our early prelims. Kicking off the early prelims is a women's flyweight bout between Julia Robertson and Priscilla Cachoeira. Robertson, a vet of the sport, is coming off 2 losses in a row, and her last finish was in 2019. But don't be fooled, even though she's Canadian, she's not your buddy or your friend guy. She's tough as hell and can get very scrappy. The Savage has a big task ahead of her though, as she faces Cachoeira, who's coming off 2 straight finishes. I'm not even gonna lie, I thought Priscilla's last name was pronounced Cacarera, so I started calling her Kakarot, which kinda made sense because she went Super Saiyan on her last 2 opponents. Between these two, my money's on Kakarot getting her 3rd straight finish. Next up, we got a bantamweight matchup between the Zohan Randy Costa and primetime Tony Kelly. Costa was up 2 before getting stopped by Adrian Yanez, but really who's beating that guy anyway right now, and is looking to bounce back with a big win over primetime. This kid is dangerous. He's got punches, he's got feet uppercuts, he's got double foot attack. He is a problem. On the other side, we got your grandma's favorite serial killer, Tony Kelly. Tony seems to only fight people with the last names that you won't be able to pronounce on the first try. Majority of his wins are finishes, and I mean, yeah. He's a scary looking individual. Between the two, I got Zohan taking this bout via feet uppercut and heading back into the win count. Next up, we have a featherweight matchup between the Wizard Ryan Hall and Derek Minner. Ryan Hall used to have problems finding somebody to fight him. Now all those fighters are regretting that decision because the guy who took the fight beat him. That's not to say Ryan Hall still isn't one of the most dangerous featherweights in the game today. He just needs to stop the spinning shit. The Wizard's got 162 plus 1 different ways to beat his opponents, and I'm excited for his fight. But once again, stop the spinning shit. Actually, as a matter of fact, go for it. We love spinning shit. Let's be real. In the other corner, we have Derek Minner, who doesn't even have the name on the UFC site when you go and check it, or at least he didn't when I checked it. But don't let that distract you from the fact that he makes people tap. He's been up and down in the octagon, but he's still very dangerous on the ground and has shown it. This fight should make for a grappler's delight. I got the Wizard in this fight, possibly taking one of Mr. Minner's limbs home as a trophy. Next, we got a flyweight matchup between Alex Perez and Danger Matt Schnell. Alex Perez's last fight was for the title. Before that, he was beaten by everyone not named Joby Wan. He finishes most of his fights and is looking to get back into the title scene to undo his past wrongs. Honestly, I think Alex Perez has been slept on in the flyweight division, and he's going to be looking to come back with a big statement against everybody's favorite reality star, Matt Schnell. While he has been up and down in the UFC, Schnell has found more success in the flyweight division. He's constantly improving each fight, and he's very slick with his submissions. I think this fight could be a lot closer than some people believe it, but I got Perez sending danger to the strawweight division with a blazing knockout or even slick submission, preferably a Dars. But I wouldn't be surprised if Schnell gets an upset submission either. In the women's flyweight bout, we have Fear the Miranda Maverick versus cold-blooded Erin Blanchfield. Fear the Miranda's coming off a loss in the Gen Z battle against Macy Barber, but some will argue she lost more to the judging than she did to Barber. Other than that, she's been dominating her other fights. She's aggressive, she has explosive power, and she is very hungry. On the other side of the octagon, we got cold-blooded Erin Blanchfield. This will be her 2nd fight under the UFC. She's 7-1, she throws head kicks like Holly Holm, and she wants to fight. To me, she's one of the most slept-on fighters on this card. A big win over Miranda Maverick can make her a household name. Honestly, I'm very conflicted on this fight because I feel like both fighters have the potential to give us a great fight of the night. Based on my experience picking fights, I'm going to go with Fear the Miranda, because I know that if things get dicey for her, she's going to use her wrestling to control the battle. At the top of the early prelims, we have a middleweight battle between Sergio Piano, Andre Muniz, and your boy, Eric Anders. I don't know much about Muniz except he's Brazilian, and he broke Jacare's arm. A scary thing to do. He's on a 7-fight win streak, 14 of his wins are by submission. He does not get more Brazilian jiu-jitsu than this man. On the other side, we got your boy who's fought some big names in the division. He's coming off a big win over Darren Stewart, and he's looking to keep the momentum going. Anders has got some power in his hands, and I hope he's improved his ground game as well. I got Muniz continuing the streak though with a slick submission. Now we got our prelims cards featuring 4 fights starting on ESPN+. Kicking off our prelims is a middleweight matchup between the Beverly Hills Ninja Jordan Wright and Belando Bruno Silva. The Beverly Hills Ninja's profile looks like he's been tag teaming with his opponents rather than fighting them. He's 12-1 in the division, has finished all of his opponents, and is very fast for his division. Either this guy knocks you the fuck out or he gets knocked the fuck out. There's no in between. And his opponent Bruno Silva is no different. Either he's getting finished or he's finishing you. Both of these men pack NyQuil in their fists and feet. Somebody's going to sleep to open the prelim, and I think it's going to be Bruno Silva. Jordan Wright for the win. As you can see, the prelim should be finished in under an hour at this rate, as we have a heavyweight bout between Augusto Sakai versus Tai Tuivasa. Sakai is top 15, he's only lost to some of the best in the division. He's got one of the most vicious knockouts I've seen in the division. Seriously, it looks like Tabora was out after the first shot, but Sakai wasn't finished with his meal. He uses punches, knees, elbows. Basically, you don't want to be in a clinch with this animal. Although he's coming off a loss, he's going to be hungry to get back in there, and you know how it goes with heavyweight bouts. Anybody can get knocked the fuck out at any time. In the other corner, we have the People's Champion, Tai Tuivasa. I mean, who doesn't love this guy? Knocking out the world's most hated fighter next to War Machine, drinking beer out of his shoes as a celebration like Gatorade. He's 2-up right now, he's seen a lot, he's done a lot, and he's trying to make his claim for the top 15 spot. I think Tuivasa gets the job done and sends the fans home happy with the shoey. Next, we got a bantamweight matchup between the young Punisher Pedro Munoz and the Dominator Dominic Cruz. Pedro Munoz has been around for a long time. He's only lost to the division's best and normally murders all of the rest. The man's got a nasty guillotine, great striking, and is always dangerous no matter who he faces. Dominic Cruz, man, this will be the first time he's fought twice in a year since 2016. He's only ever lost in title bouts, and he's absolutely one of the best, if not the best bantamweight of all time, even with injuries. He showed Casey Kenny in the UFC who daddy still is after his last fight and is looking to make another title run. I think everybody's going to be expecting the Dominator to win this bout, but this is where I'm going to do my upset of the night, and I'm going for Pedro Munoz. I think he's a lot better than people give him credit for, and I think he's going to be a problem for Dominic Cruz tonight. In the prelim headliner, we got a featherweight matchup between Josh Emmett and Dan Ige. What else is there to say about Josh Emmett besides holy fuck, he's a violent person? He's only lost twice in the octagon. His favorite fight method is hitting you in the face really, really hard, even when he's losing. I'm sorry, MJ. And he's part of Team Alpha Male, where you're both short and dangerous all at the same time. Dan Ige's been up and down lately. He's already fought twice this year, and although he's been up and down in his last few fights, before that he went on a 6-fight winning streak. I got Josh Emmett taking this fight. Ige's become more patient over time, but he likes to rush in, and that is very dangerous to do against someone like Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett via KO. We're here at the main card, and oh my god, this is going to be a very quick night. We are kicking off the main card with Rolian Paiva versus Sean O'Malley. Rolian is coming off a massive comeback win against Kyler Phillips to break the top 15. He's riding a huge high right now, tough as hell, and should never be counted out. Well, maybe against Sean O'Malley. Sugar Sean, I mean, this guy gets tougher with every fight, gets better with every fight, and he comes in to take your head off. He throws whatever the fuck he feels like throwing at you, and if it connects, you're more than likely sleeping on the job. At this point in his career, I feel like Sean O'Malley's biggest opponent is his legs. His legs seem to have the support system of a disinterested stepfather. But with all that going on, he's not a guy you want to be in the cage with. I got Sugar Sean by KO. I'm not fully counting out Paiva though, but I got another walk-off KO by O'Malley. Next, we got a flyweight matchup between Kai Kara France and Cody Garbrandt. Mainstay in the flyweight division, France has had his ups and downs. He might have found his power, however, after folding his last opponent like a lawn chair in a tornado. He's shown he has the ability to turn your favorite fighter into an ostrich, and that shows that he's very dangerous. Along with his newfound knockout power, he also has the cardio, so you know he's going to be able to go all 3 rounds with no problem. Cody no love. You know no love. I know no love. What is love? He hurts people. He's coming off a loss, but that was in the bantamweight division. This is the flyweight division. I'm sure Cody's going to be able to maintain most of his power, but I'm curious to see how his speed and cardio are going to take effect dropping weight. It's honestly hard choosing between both fighters knowing what they're capable of, but I'm going to go with no love for the KO and making his run for the flyweight title. Next, we got a welterweight matchup between Jeff Neal and Santiago Ponzinibbio. Can you name a better welterweight bout on this card than this? No, you can't, because it's the only welterweight bout on this card. And it is a banger. Jeff Neal's on a 2-fight skid, but don't let that distract you from the fact that he is still one of the top rising welterweights in the game today. Always aggressive, always powerful, and just one of the more exciting welterweights in the game. He has shown some trouble with lengthy fighters, but if he hits you clean, you're going to sleep. Santiago Ponzinibbio, man, what could have been and what still could be. Santiago's had a rough go of it, but has been on the bounce back since his win over Miguel Beza. He's looking to go round 2 with the title run, and I believe he could do it. Just not right now. But the real question here is Jeff Neal going to be in the right headspace for this fight? If you know, you know. If you don't worry about it. Regardless, I still got Hands of Steel taking the win. Big KO. We are here at our co-main event, the first of 2 title fights, Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. Amanda Nunes has been cleaning out the division. Pretty soon they're going to be outsourcing for her opponents to fight. She's been at the top of her game since 2016 and shows no signs of slowing down. God help anyone who steps into the cage with her. She's head kicked the head kicker, outstruck the female Mike Tyson, has submitted a master on the ground, and put Cyborg to sleep. What can't she do? In the other corner, we got Juliana Pena finally getting her long-awaited title shot after coming close so multiple times. Unfortunately, this title shot is against Amanda Nunes. If there's anybody who won't be scared for this bout, it's going to be Juliana Pena. Because of who her opponent is, some people are going to discredit Juliana Pena, but forget how dangerous she actually is, especially on the ground. She feels like no one's taking her serious for this fight. She's got a massive chip on her shoulder, and she's got something to prove come Saturday. This fight has got all the potential to be fight of the night. Neither are going to back down. I got the GOAT winning this bout, and I can see it going to a decision. Alright, we finally made it. The part you've watched through, or maybe just skipped through. The main event of the night for the lightweight title. Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier. This is the fight that I'm absolutely most conflicted on. When you look up an example of a fight that could completely change by a single move or mistake, it is this fight. The Diamond, Dustin Poirier, has been waiting a long time. To me, he is absolutely one of the best lightweights because of his journey and how he's evolved over time. He's won, he's lost, he has seen it all, and goddamn, that right hand is mortifying. There's really no better opponent for the champ than Dustin Poirier. In the other corner, Drew Bronx went from a guy who's going to be a great mid-carder in the UFC to a guy who's your goddamn champion. Whatever it is that you find that makes you a great fighter, Drew Bronx found it. And Oliveira can never be counted out until that final bell sounds. In a division full of homicidal maniacs, it's amazing to see Charles Oliveira at the very top. Both of these guys finished fights. I would think this would be a fight of the night candidate if I didn't think that one of these guys would get sent to the shadow realm before the third round. My heart says Dustin, my brain says Oliveira. I'm going to trust my heart on this one. I'm going to say the Diamond finally realizes what he's been trying to do since 2011. Over 10 years. This man is finally going to become your undisputed lightweight champion. So these are my picks for UFC 269. Comment down below what your picks are going to be. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as I will be doing more UFC hangovers. Please tune in Sunday or Monday to see the UFC hangover. We'll review the show itself and review the picks and see how well we did. My picks are in. Let's hope the MMA gods and the bookies don't take my legs after this, and I will see you guys at the hangover. Cheers.